everyone, Justine Lizzie here. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I help awaken sensitive and empathic souls intuitively navigate this crazy world. And today I'm going to be talking about cord cutting. So I'm going to talk about the what, the why, and I'm actually going to do a cord cutting exercise towards the end. So let me jump right into it because this is a lot of information and I definitely want to share it and get right to the actual exercise, right? So guys, what is cord cutting? So cord cutting is a visual exercise, I wrote it down, that allows the emotional, mental, spiritual, and energetic ties between you and another person, place, or thing to be severed or cut. So basically, the general reason, and I wrote down all of the main reasons why we might do it, but in the spiritual community, we hear a lot about, in the spiritual healing community especially, we hear a lot about like letting go and detachment. And we hear these words, and I'm very aware as somebody who is a healer and who's an intuitive reader, really understands that just saying things like that doesn't necessarily, it's not that easy, right? When we say let go of something or detach from something, or have boundaries with something, right? Something, someone, whatever it happens to be, whatever's going on in your life. So I'm very aware that when I say those things, or when people in the spiritual community say those things, it's not easy, right? And so there's a bunch of different ways that we can actually start to do this process of healing, of letting go of what doesn't serve us anymore, having stronger boundaries, breaking toxic ties with people, that kind of thing. There are different ways to do it, and cord cutting is just one way to do it. It's just a really great tool. I personally used it. I can definitely say that it works for sure, but there's a lot of misconceptions around it in general. So I want to kind of go into the misconceptions before I actually go into the exercise, right? So the first misconception is people think that when we perform cord cutting, we're actually cutting them completely out of our lives on a physical level. So notice how I didn't say physically in the beginning, right? I said all the other components besides physically and environmentally, right? So it doesn't necessarily mean that by cutting ties and cutting cords with someone, that we are cutting them out of our lives completely. Actually, I would probably say most of the time when we're doing this, we're not doing that, right? We're really just looking for stronger boundaries with the person, and just less of a energetic pull. We're really trying to get our power back, essentially, at the end of the day, because that's part of the healing process, right? The healing process it's made up of, in my, obviously, my opinion, an unlearning process, then a healing process, and the empowering process. And so, like, it's literally a circle of those three things, right? We unlearn, we heal, and then we empower. And that's kind of the cycle for each trauma or shadow work, however you want to say it, that we actually have to overcome, right? So it is part of that last part, right? Getting our power back. So that's what it helps us do, right? Because the issue is that we gave it away to begin with, and that's really what attachment is, right? Is that we're giving somebody else our power, right? And we really want that back, right? So by severing these ties, we get it back, right? Okay, so the second misconception here is it works one and done, like it's a one and done. No, it is not a one and done, okay? You actually, I said earlier, yes, it works, but it's not a one and done. I actually had to do it continuously over a year's time as like a daily spiritual practice in the morning. To get myself detached from a toxic relationship I was in. And I've had to do it several times over and over again. It's kind of like practice, and healing isn't linear, okay? So we have to just continue to do it, and just, if you're really trying to cut a very strong bond, for example, like a trauma bond, like I mentioned, I was trying to really sever ties with a toxic relationship, and I was very much trauma bonded on many different levels. You may have to do it consistently, and that's okay. It doesn't mean it's not working. It just means you literally have to do it consistently. I don't know of any other healing modality where you do it once and then you're done, right? So it's just like everything else. Okay, so the third one, it's the only healing modality you'll need. No, I actually recommend you do more than cord cutting. You can do cord cutting in meditations. You can do cord cutting and divination. You can do cord cutting and coaching. You can do any type of cord cutting and acupuncture. You can do cord cutting and any other healing modality out there, plus some more, right? I'm a very big proponent of using multiple modalities of healing no matter what. And I'm not trying to claim that cord cutting is the only one that will work for you, but it's best in conjunction with other things, right? Okay, and then the last misconception, people can feel when you're cord cutting them, if it's a person, right? I actually want to say yes and no. This isn't necessarily all untrue. Sometimes, really depending on how in tune the other person is to their own energy, sometimes people can feel when you're cutting the cord, right? So we do it in a visual exercise, right? And we, as you'll see when I do the exercise, we will cut it. And I sometimes have heard that people feel like they know in that instant that something is wrong, that a distance is being created. Again, it really depends on the other person of how in tune that they actually are. And then I wouldn't be like, I've heard stories like of people reaching out if you're like really trying to cut that cord and they feel like the pole is being severed, they'll like really try to get back into your life, right? This is especially true for people that are toxic, right? They'll kind of almost know, because people don't know this, but if somebody's like a narcissist or a sociopath, they really are more, they have their own intuitive element, right, to them, so they'll know, so they're in tuned in some type of way, so they'll figure that out and they'll come back or try to get back into your life if they feel to get that control back over you, right? So they'll kind of like feel that. So that one isn't entirely untrue. That one could very much happen. So I found that really interesting, but most of the time, no. But yes, it could definitely happen depending on how in tune the person is. Okay, cool. Okay, guys, now I want to go into the exercise. I'm not really necessarily sure how long it's going to be. Usually cord cuttings are around, I would say, anywhere from like 5 minutes to 15 minutes. I've seen 20 minutes. It just really depends. I'm going to walk through a general idea of how it works. And I'll be the guide, obviously. So, and I'll be the guide, so I won't actually be doing it with you guys, but this will be a good starting point, I think, for cord cutting. There's many others on YouTube. There's definitely many others on Insight Timer, which I'm a huge fan of. By the way, I'm not being paid to shout this app out. It's just amazing. It's called Insight Timer. You can just Google any not Google, we'll search for Google has become a verb, hasn't it? You can search for any type of meditation, or they even have talks like podcasts and stuff like that on that, so that's pretty cool. Okay, cool. Okay, so I'm gonna start, guys, and one thing that I usually start with is like just a small breathing exercise, like just a 4 count I usually do, just to kind of get you guys present, because it really requires us to be present and in the moment, because we really need to make sure that we're paying attention and that our intentions for this exercise are aligned, right? So let's get present. So stand up straight. You can also do this lying down if you want, completely up to you. I'm a big fan of meditating and doing these exercises laying down, but again, I'm recording YouTube, so, and I'm not necessarily doing it, I'm just guiding you, okay? And you don't have to watch me. I'm gonna tell you to close your eyes in a minute. Yeah. So don't worry what I'm doing up here. Just really listen, okay? Because it's going to be an exercise where you have to visualize it, right? Okay, so here we go, guys. I'm talking too much. All right, deep breath, guys. We're going to do a 4 count. A 4 count means we're going to start from the bottom of the stomach. We're going to go up to the rib cage. We're going to go up to the clavicle, and then we're going to go up to the nasal area. I'm going to want you guys to breathe out. I know most people find it more natural to breathe out the nose, but we're going to breathe out the mouth, but we're going to use the nose to breathe in, okay? So here we go. Deep breath. Stomach. Okay, sorry, I needed a deep breath really quick. Okay, let's start this again. All right, deep breath. Stomach. Ribs. Clavicle. Nose. And out. Okay. Whew. I haven't done my breathing exercises today, so that felt really good. Let's do it one more time to get you guys more present. Ready? We're going to do deep breath from the stomach. Ribs. Clavicle. Nose. Out. Right, guys? Out. Whew. Breathwork is amazing for a lot of different reasons, but again, this is getting us present and getting us more conscious and focused for our exercise, okay? All right, now close your eyes, guys. Take a deep breath if you need it again, right? Okay. Okay, guys. I want you to imagine, eyes are closed, the environment. I want you to ask yourself where you are. I want you to put yourself in a place where you feel very relaxed, very safe. I would say your happy place. That could be the mountains. That could be New York City penthouse. That could be the desert. That could be a park. That could be your own home in your own bed. It really depends. Take a deep breath again. I want you guys to think about how you actually feel in this space. I want you guys to start feeling serene, safe, comfortable, at peace. Now we're going to call in Archangel Michael and Archangel Raphael. Archangel Michael is the archangel of protection and security. And Archangel Raphael is the archangel of healing. And we're calling upon these two angels. They've entered the room and they're going to be here for the cord cutting. They are our love, our support, and our guidance at this time. And they make us feel even safer. Deep breath. Now we're going to call in the person, place, or thing into the room. They're standing in front of you. There's a pretty decent distance between you, about 10 feet. Recognize what feelings come up as soon as this person, place, or thing enters. Is it heavy feelings? Is it resentment? Is it anger, sadness, guilt? What do you feel? Deep breath. Now, recognize where the ties are. Where do you see an energetic cord between you and this person? Where is it? Is it through the heart chakra? Is it up here? Do you feel it in that area? Do you feel it in the groin area? Do you feel it in the throat? Do you feel it in the root chakra? Where do you feel it? Where are you connected? And you may be connected in more than one spot. Once you recognize where the ties are, I want you to ask yourself this very powerful question. What made you give your power away? Why do they have it? Deep breath. I want you to make sure you guys are feeling what's coming up. And I want you guys to have some grace. Give yourself some grace. Give yourself the forgiveness that you need and the compassion that you need. Forgive yourself for giving your power away. Now it's time to cut the cord. Take whatever you want, whether it's a knife, a scissor, Archangel's golden sword, Archangel Michael's golden sword. You can imagine the cord being frozen and just it exploding apart like broken ice. Cut it a few times if you need to. Now I want you to look into their eyes when they're cut. Look into their eyes and say, thank you for the lessons. Thank you. I'm grateful for the lessons. You have no more power over me. I decide where my energy goes. I choose to detach. I send you love. Thank you for the lessons. Say that as many times as you need to, or any variations that you need to speak up about. Let them go with love, though. It's all love. You have no more power over me. I decide where my energy goes. Deep breath. One more. Slowly open your eyes. How do you guys feel? Feel into how you actually feel. Take one more deep breath. Okay, that's the end. Thank you so much for that. Okay, so guys, that is a quick introduction to what a cord cutting is. Obviously, it could be longer. It could be a different variation of that. Some people do it to music. I didn't want to play music since it was just a basic walkthrough, and I didn't want it to be too distracting, because I do hear that too, that it might be too distracting. But really, that's how it is, right? So we get ourselves in a very relaxed and present place. And we make sure that our feelings are present, right? As you can hear throughout the exercise, I made sure that you guys really paid attention to what feelings were coming up as you were doing certain things, including the cord cutting. But really, we are visualizing that they're not connected to us anymore, and really making sure we're energetically doing it, as well as spiritually and emotionally. So as you can see, all those components came up in like different ways, and those, I mean, again, you could definitely feel a shift after the first one, absolutely, but this is something that has to be done consistently. So whether you want to continue to use this one, pretty simple, pretty basic, maybe if you guys like this video, I'll put out more with music, and hopefully you guys are feeling at least a little bit of a shift already, which sometimes people do, right? If not, keep going. Cool. Okay, guys, thank you so much. This is what a cord cutting is, and hopefully I gave you enough information, at least basic information, about why we do it, and hopefully this was helpful for you guys. I won't know if it's helpful unless you guys like the video or put the comments below, so please go ahead and do that. And again, if I have enough positive comments and likes, I will definitely be putting out more advanced versions of this. So definitely go ahead and do that if it resonated, okay? All right, well, thank you guys. Happy cord cutting. Doing it with love, obviously, and continue to be on your healing journey. It's such an honor for me to be able to be with you guys during this, and hopefully this was helpful, right? Okay, cool. I talked enough. All right, thank you guys. Have a good one. Bye.